My husband of 7 years demanded that we split all the household bills because he said he wouldn't support a gold-digging woman. The fork stopped halfway to my mouth when he cleared his throat in that particular way. You know the one, when someone's about to drop a bomb on your dinner and pretend it's casual conversation. So, I've been thinking, he said, not looking up from his perfectly seasoned chicken that I'd spent an hour preparing. Things need to change around here. I set down my fork carefully. 7 years of marriage had taught me to read the warning signs. The way he adjusted his collar, the slight pause before speaking, the laptop he'd positioned just within reach on the kitchen counter. What kind of changes? My voice came out steadier than I felt. He finally looked at me, and I saw something I'd never seen before. Cold calculation. Well, I've been doing some math, and frankly, this arrangement isn't fair to me anymore. What arrangement? This whole setup where I work my ass off every day while you, he gestured vaguely around our immaculate kitchen, do whatever this is. The words hit like ice water. I'd left my marketing job 7 years ago when we got married. His idea, actually. A man should provide for his wife, he'd said back then. I want to take care of you. I'd been hesitant. I loved my career, but he'd been so insistent, so romantic about it. Now he was looking at me like I was some kind of parasite. I've created a spreadsheet, he continued, flipping open the laptop with the enthusiasm of someone presenting a brilliant business proposal. I've calculated all our monthly expenses. Mortgage, utilities, groceries, everything. From now on, we're splitting it 50-50. The screen showed a detailed breakdown of our life reduced to numbers. Mortgage, $2,947. Utilities, $340. Groceries, $580. Insurance, $420. The list went on, each item meticulously calculated. But I don't have a job, I said quietly. You asked me to quit, remember? He waved his hand dismissively. That was then. This is now. You're a smart woman. You can figure something out. I'm not running a charity here. I stared at him. This man I'd loved, whose socks I'd been washing, whose meals I'd been cooking, whose mother I'd been tolerating for 7 years, and felt something shift inside me. Something cold and sharp and calculating. So let me understand this, I said, my voice taking on a tone I barely recognized. You want me to pay half of everything. Starting when exactly? Starting next month. He smiled, clearly pleased with himself. I knew you'd be reasonable about this. You've always been so practical. I looked at the spreadsheet again, noting every detail. The mortgage on the house I'd turned into a home. The utility bills for the electricity I used to iron his shirts. The grocery money for the food I planned, bought, and prepared. Okay, I said. He blinked, apparently surprised by how easily I'd agreed. Okay? Yes, you're absolutely right. If we're going to be roommates instead of husband and wife, we should split everything equally. I smiled, and something in my expression must have registered because he shifted uncomfortably. That's great. Honey, I'm glad you understand. But I could see it in his eyes. He'd expected a fight, maybe tears, definitely begging. Instead, he got agreement, and it was clearly unsettling him. I picked up my fork and took another bite of the dinner I'd prepared. This is delicious, isn't it? I really outdid myself tonight. Yeah, it's good, he mumbled, suddenly focused intently on his plate. As I chewed, my mind was already working. If he wanted to play this game, I'd play it. But he'd just made one crucial mistake. He'd assumed I was the same woman who'd agreed to quit her job 7 years ago. He had no idea what he'd just unleashed. The next morning, I woke up at my usual time, 6:30. But instead of padding to the kitchen to start the coffee and lay out his clothes for work, I rolled over and went back to sleep. At 7:15, I heard his alarm go off. Then again at 7:25. By 7:30, I could hear him stumbling around the bedroom, clearly confused by the absence of his usual routine. Honey? His voice drifted from the kitchen. Where's the coffee? I pulled my pillow over my head and smiled. Let the games begin. 20 minutes later, he was back in the bedroom, half dressed and agitated. What's going on? There's no coffee, no breakfast, and I can't find my blue shirt anywhere. I stretched lazily and looked at him with innocent confusion. Good morning to you too. What's wrong? What's wrong? It's almost 8 o'clock.